If you are looking to buy a new pre-built PC and you want to buy from Amazon because it's one of the biggest retailers in the entire world, then this video is for you. I will show you the best Amazon pre-built PCs that you can get for every budget, and you will have bonus PCs as well for more budgets down below in the video description, as well with every PC that I will mention today. Not only that, but I will also show you the level of performance that you can expect. That way, if you are new to PCs, you understand the performance that you are getting. With that being said, let's start. With the first one, we have the Skytech Nebula. This one has the i5-13400F and the RTX 4060 for the GPU. Then you get a 1TB NVMe SSD and 16 gigs of RAM. This one is $850 and it's going to deliver excellent 1080p gaming performance, and also you can play at 1440p 60 plus FPS on average. Talking about esports titles, you can expect above 200 FPS on average, so you can buy a 240Hz 1080p monitor if you want to. On a 15-game average at 1080p, high to ultra settings with high demanding titles, the RTX 4060 was able to average 91 FPS, which is an incredible number considering its ultra settings, and then at 1440p over 60 FPS on average, and if you turn on DLSS, which is the Nvidia upscaler, you can expect 70 to 80 FPS on average at 1440p. Honestly, this is amazing performance for the price, and in my opinion, this one is the best one in terms of value in the entire market. With the next one, we have a more expensive one for $1,450, and as I said before, if you have, let's say, between $850 to $1,400, maybe you have $1,200 to spend, you will have bonus PCs in the description. But anyway, this system has the RTX 4070 and the Ryzen 7 5700X for the CPU. Here you get 32 gigs of RAM, which is more than 16, and it's going to be ideal if you want to do streaming, content creation, and productivity work in general. But the main difference is going to be in the GPU and the gaming performance. The RTX 4070 is about 50% faster than the RTX 4060 in terms of performance, and it's more for 1440p resolution than for 1080p. On that 15-game average on high to ultra settings I've mentioned before, at 1440p where the 4060 was able to average over 60 FPS, the RTX 4070 was able to average over 100 FPS, and this is native resolution, so if you turn on DLSS, you can expect way higher frame rates. And if you want to play easy to run shooters, you can expect 240 plus FPS on average at 1440p. And then if you were wondering, at 1080p where the 4060 was able to average 90 FPS, the RTX 4070 was able to average 143 FPS. So very high-end computer for 1080p and also ideal for 1440p experience. You also get plenty of storage in 2TB of hard drive plus 500 gigs of SSD. For $1,450, this is a very good deal for 1440p ultra settings. With the next one, we have a high-end computer in the Skytech Gaming Eclipse Lite. This one has the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, which is the fastest CPU in the entire market. And then you get the RTX 4070 Ti for the GPU, which is a 1440p ultra gaming system. If you want to play at 1440p maxed out, this PC is going to be for you. It's going to cost you $2,100, but it's going to be worth it if you want to play on ultra settings at 1440p, or maybe you want to play on high settings at 4K, which is going to be completely fine with this system. And since you get the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, if you are thinking of playing at 1080p, even though I wouldn't recommend it for the price, if you want to play esports titles, you will be taking advantage of a 360Hz 1080p monitor if you want to, or even a 360Hz 1440p monitor, because this CPU is so good that it's going to allow you to play esports shooters at 360 plus FPS on average at 1440p and 1080p. Then you get a 1TB Gen 4 SSD and 32 gigs of DDR5 memory, which once again is going to be ideal for streaming. On that same test I've been mentioning throughout the video, on a 15-game average on high to ultra settings on high demanding titles at 1440p, the 4070 Ti was able to average 127 FPS and over 70 FPS at 4K resolution. And remember that you have DLSS, which can higher your FPS number, and it's ideal especially at 4K on ultra settings on a high demanding title. You can also play with ray tracing on at 1440p with no issues. Then for a higher end computer for $2,500, you can get the AVS Tempest Ravi. This one has the Ryzen 7 7700X, and even though this one is not as good as the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, it's going to be enough for the GPU that you get, the RTX 4080. The RTX 4080 is about 27% faster than the 4070 Ti, and it's an ideal GPU for 4K resolution. resolution. So if you want to play at 4K ultra settings, I do recommend you getting this system or the next one if you have more money. But on a 15 game average at 4K, high to ultra settings, high demanding titles, once again, the RTX 4080 was able to average 92 FPS, which is the highest among all the GPUs tested here. And the only GPU that has better performance by the time that I'm recording this video is the RTX 4090, which is much more expensive. And then if you want to play at 1440p and upgrade to 4K down the line, the RTX 4080 is able to average 160 FPS at 1440p resolution. So very high numbers, you are going to get amazing performance, that's no doubt, but it is quite expensive at $2,500. Here you get 2 TB of SSD and you get 32 gigs of DDR5 memory at 6000 MHz. And not only that, but you also get a 360 all-in-one liquid cooler, which is going to be an overkill for this Ryzen 7, but if you want to upgrade to a newer CPU down the line that's going to require more power, this CPU cooler is going to be ideal for the future. And then if you just want the best of the best, I recommend you spending $3,400 for the Skytech Azure PC. Here you get the Ryzen 7 7800X3D, which as I said before is the fastest CPU in the market, and you get the RTX 4090, which is the fastest GPU in the market, so you're getting the best GPU and CPU combo for gaming in 2024. Here you can expect the highest frame rates out of all of the systems I've mentioned, and there's no limit when it comes to 4K resolution. I do recommend you buying this system if you're going to play at 4K, because if you're going to play at 1440p, I think it's going to be an overkill, and I do recommend you spending less, saving money, and getting either the RTX 4080 system or the 4070 Ti. But if you want to play at 4K ultra settings, you just want the best of the best and you have money to spend, then this one is going to be the right one for you, and you will have no issues with any title on the highest resolution. And even though Amazon has great deals, and actually some of these PCs are the best deals for the price in the market, if you are willing to buy directly from the company, you can get systems that might be better value in some cases. And for that reason, I do recommend you watching my video on the best pre-built PCs for 2024, where I go over every budget, every resolution, and also from different companies. But if you wanted to buy from Amazon, these ones are the best in my opinion. And remember that if your budget was not mentioned in this video, it will be in the video description. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.